Hi, I'm Megan Elliott, co-founder and managing director of GingerCloud Foundation. Thanks so much for joining us for Series 3 of our podcasts, Creating an Inclusive Tribe. The aim of this third series is for you to share with us your stories of community, the barriers to inclusion and participation that you see, and how you are creating an inclusive tribe. Today we'll be asking some of our fantastic parents key questions that help us understand who you are, why inclusion matters to you personally, the barriers you see, and what you've done to champion the inclusion of girls, boys and young adults with autism, Asperger's and other learning and perceptual disabilities. We want to hear about these things from your perspective as a parent of a person with a learning and perceptual disability. So, hi Sally, and thanks so much for joining us today. And to start off, tell us a bit about yourself and your family.
Hi Megan, thanks for having me on today. So I have three beautiful girls, and Rosie is my youngest. She's Down syndrome, and she's a bit of a go-getter. I don't know how I've managed to do that, but we've been strong on raising, strong girls. So I think we've done that with her, certainly.
She certainly is.
We call her the CEO of the family, so she organises us all.
She's fantastic too. Just a lovely, lovely young woman. Really, really fantastic.
Thank you. Yes, she is.
So tell us a bit about your family dynamics, your values. You spoke about raising, independent, strong women. What do you think that has meant to Rosie?
It's been amazing for her because she has not stopped at being Down syndrome. She's so much more than that, and she gets what she wants without being obnoxious, of course. But she has goals and values, and she goes for them. She really wants to succeed. And the thing is, she looks up to her big sisters, and what they're doing, that's what she wants to do.
Yeah, wow.
That's just a given. And even when she was little, raising her, if we treated her anything different to the other two, she got really because she was part of the family and she wanted to be treated exactly the same.
And what are the other girls doing, Sally? I've never asked you that. What are your older girls doing?
So both of them up until now have been in Melbourne, and they've been down there studying and working. But the eldest has just moved home now, which is just beautiful, having a home. And she's changed unis, so she's now going to Queensland Uni and currently looking for a job at the moment. So
okay.
Lovely having a home. She's sick of paying rent.
In Melbourne, how hard would that have been over the last 12 months as well?
That's right. They've been in lockdown and it's been pretty horrendous for them. So I think she just needed a bit of sunshine, really. So
yeah. Well, Rosie gives her that as well, I'm sure.
Oh, she does. She's a bit miffed that Rosie's so busy because she's hardly home. So they get on very well. They're bits of soulmates, those two. So
it's fantastic. I was just saying to someone today, and I think we were speaking earlier, about how well Rosie spoke at the Player Mentor training on Sunday, and she spoke obviously at our at the fundraiser last year as well. And I'm so proud of the way she communicates with people, and she really shares her story in a really beautiful way.
Yes. We've done a lot of work with her with speech therapy and that sort of thing. So right from when she was 6 months old, we've been going to speech therapy once a week. And it got to a stage where we were doing 3 times a week for different things. So we were going for a stuttering, and we were going for general speech, and then we were also going for a reading because she was struggling to comprehend what she was reading. So we were going to a speech therapist for reading. So it's been a big long road.
I hear you. Oh, no. Well, I guess I think one of the things that I love so much about Rosie, when she came down and did the work experience at Ruggers, is how comfortable she feels as part of, the broader GingerCloud community? Like, how important is that, to you and to Rosie? And, she comes from, you come down from Toowoomba all the time to do, all the things that we do. So what does that mean to her?
It broadens her whole world to be part of a bigger community. And it shows her that she is not just four little walls. I think when I grew up on a cattle property out west, and it was very insular, very small community. And my girls, it's so different having my girls, because they've grown up in a world where it's the whole world because of the internet.
Yes, so true.
Their thoughts are global, whereas mine wasn't. It was very much, in my own little world. So it's part of teaching Rosie that there is a whole world out there, and she can conquer that whole world if she wants to.
Just going back a little bit, how did you and your family get involved with GingerCloud Foundation and the Modified Rugby program, I guess, with us?
Yeah, so we started in 2018, and I had wanted to join before that, but I didn't know how. So I had heard about it through a friend at school. Her son was part of GingerCloud before us, and so that's how I found out about it, and then managed to work out how to get in. So we've been in since 2018, and it's just been brilliant, absolutely brilliant for us.
And she shows that all the time. It's really, it's amazing. I love to see how self-driven a lot of our young people are as well. And then that's why I love doing these podcasts, because you then listen and you speak with the parents and the families, and you really get a sense about where that all comes from a family perspective. I love to hear those stories. I mean, people say to us with Max, all the time, why do you keep doing all the things that you can do with Max? And I guess we always say, because if you set the bar low, our kids will achieve it every time. If you set the bar high, they'll also achieve it. And I think it's up to us and to help the broader community understand everything that our kids can achieve, rather than focusing on the things that we perceive that they can't achieve. And that's why I love seeing Rosie so confident in the training, and she was totally running that training, I just have to say.
It's interesting with her, all through her schooling, I kept saying to her teachers, do not put a ceiling on her ability.
Yep.
I don't know where her ability stops.
Yeah.
And she always surprises me, and she's surprised her teachers all the way through schooling, just by not putting that ceiling on. Just means that she's been able to aspire up further than what we ever thought she could. She can be amazing if she wants to be.
And isn't that the message that we want to give all our kids? Not our, necessarily just our kids, but all our children, about, if you set your mind to something, you can really achieve it. And I suppose one of the things that I feel we're so blessed is that, Max and Rosie are in this era of our greater understanding about people with disability, because even, think about my mum and dad's era, we wouldn't have dealt with things as well, we wouldn't have had the understanding necessarily to be able to deal with things as proactively as we deal with them now.
I've been surprised all the way through, ever since she was born, at how beautiful people are with her. They communicate beautifully with her, and they, when I was brought up, Down syndrome and that sort of thing, most of the time they were institutionalised. So it just astounded me that people were so welcoming to her. And, she'd make people talk to her. When she was little, we'd go grocery shopping and she'd make the person standing behind us, talk to them. And a few people would be very uncomfortable, but most people were brilliant with her. But she'd force them to communicate, just.
Well, but isn't that her right?
Oh, absolutely.
And it's just fantastic to see that she, from such a young age, has had the confidence, and obviously with all of your support, but that ability to say, actually, talk to me.
That's right. And it's been a real growth learning for me, because I'm a very quiet person, and I'm not an out there person at all. But she's forced me to let her be, because that's who she is.
Yeah.
But in saying that, she's also quite shy. You know, she's not a loud child, but she has a good sense of self and a good sense of what's right and what's fair.
Yeah, yeah. No, I see that all the time in conversations with her.
Yeah, and you know, the world has to accept her as part of being a normal human being, because that's fair.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you think about in community in general, you know, what does that really mean to you?
Being part of a community makes you stronger, because you have a lot more support from a wider range of people. Mm-hmm. And you can give support to other people that need it. One of the most fulfilling things in life is to actually give. And so in a community, you can do that to your heart's content, and it makes your life so much richer.
But how do you think Rosie feels about that sort of as well? I mean, now she's moved on from school, so she's doing more work experience opportunities. She's looking for work now. What's that kind of experience been like from a community perspective for you?
She, I don't know about a community perspective, but she does 1 day a week work, and she loves the money. She comes home with her cash and she's very happy. Community to her, she has quite a large area around her. When she doesn't know somebody, she has quite a large area that she won't let them in. But as soon as she feels comfortable with somebody, they're in like Flint, you know. So the more community that she can be involved in, the more people that she can let into her little world, which contradicts what I said before about her being, you know, learning that the world is worldwide. But I think feeling safe is a main thing for her.
Yeah.
He does that for her.
Yeah.
It makes her feel safe, but it gives her a lot of confidence, because she can excel in a community. You know, people are wonderful, and they make her feel like she's excelled.
And it's funny, you know, that's one of the, when we talk about the things that are most important to us, I always say to people, it's really simple. It's 4 things. We talk about, you know, the kids feeling safe and secure, being understood, experience success, and really feel like they belong somewhere. Because I think if you feel like you belong, you can achieve so much in terms of a whole range of different things that you want to do in life.
Yes, absolutely. It's just that confidence booster is huge. Yeah. It's something to your soul to be to feel included and to feel part of something.
And we're talking about inclusion. On the flip side, what are sort of some of the barriers that you have seen to inclusion, you know, when Rosie was younger, and then now that she's growing up more, you know, what have you seen and what's changed over that period?
Preconceived ideas.
Yeah.
And judgment of her ability without finding out what her ability is.
Yes.
So all they see is Down syndrome. She can't do that.
Yeah.
She damn well can. She's proven it so many times.
Yes, she has. Yeah, she does.
So at the moment, she loves cooking. So at the moment, she's doing a TAFE course in kitchen operations.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be a struggle to get her into work in that field, I think, because of the preconceived ideas.
Yep.
What a Down syndrome can achieve. And so trying to break down those barriers, which we will have to do, I think, by if we get rejected for something that we're struggling to that she wants to do and they won't let us do, we just pivot and turn around and enter it from a different way. So I think with her gaining work in that field is that we'll have to get her to do work experience, I think, in a few different places.
Yeah.
They can see her ability. And through that, then I'm pretty sure she will then end up with work.
And one of the things we've noticed too is, as you say, about helping employers understand the skills and abilities and capabilities of our young people and young adults particularly, because you're right, people see autism or they see Down syndrome or they see Asperger's, and they think that it's different, and what can be achieved is different to what can be achieved by someone else. But I think the interesting thing is, like, looking at Max and Rosie at Ruggers, when you have that incredibly supportive community of people who not for a second think about what the kids can't do, they always think about what they can do. It's just a totally different outcome, isn't it? You know, for young adults to be perceived in that, yes, we'll help you with this might be a bit tricky, but we'll show you how to do it a different way, then everyone benefits, like the people who come to the restaurant, the people who work there, let alone our young people. It's everyone else who benefits as well.
It's just, I find it frustrates me when people put Rosie in a box and then they put a lid on it, because that's not who she is. She and it sounds like Max is the same. They can open the lid.
Well, and I think the hard thing is we don't even know where the lid is. So it's not fair for someone else to put a lid on, because we don't know. Remember we were talking about the fact that we were told at 7 that Max would never speak, never read, never write. And, to see him ride his bike down to work by himself is just an amazing thing to see that independence come through, and the fact that he loves it so much, and it's amazing. And I can see all of our young people achieving like that as well.
Yes, that's so true.
You know, it's really exciting in that respect. And further to what you were saying about pivoting and moving in a kind of a different direction if things aren't working, what other things have you done as a family to help remove some of those barriers to inclusion?
So Rosie's always been mainstream, and so she's done activities mainstream as well.
Yeah.
Whether she could cope with those or not, it didn't matter, as long as she did them with, in whatever she was interested in. And in some cases, she's excelled. So just through that has, broken barriers down by just showing people that she can. She can do whatever she wants to if she puts her mind to it.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the things that's so exciting for me in this, I'm not sure if we've spoken about it, but in this most recent government grant that we've got, it's about creating future leaders for young people with disability. So to see we had 2 young people from Toowoomba who will be plan mentors and will be training up to be plan mentors this season, it just gives me goosies, because that's what we always hoped and envisaged that would happen, that we would be helping our young adults train other young people coming through about what their experience has been and how to help them, that journey sort of not be as difficult as it was for us, and I think our young people as well. My husband and I always talk about the fact that if we had a photograph of what Max was doing now at 2.5, if we had a video of him riding his bike independently in a chef's outfit down to work, then our 15-year journey as parents of a child, with autism and a complex language disability would have been totally different, because we would have had a frame of reference. But because even at that time, our young people weren't that visible, and it's not the same as them being institutionalised, as you said, which is what happened when we were growing up. But we didn't see those success stories. We didn't feel what they could achieve, and that's, I guess, one of the things I'm always so grateful about is I still remember after wailing in the car for an hour as that supposed professional professed what the rest of Max's life was going to be like. I remember I had a little angel sitting on my shoulder, whatever it was, subconscious, I don't know, but said tough call at 7. Like, he's only 7. How would you know how to predict the rest of his life? And yet people feel that's what they have the right to do with our children. And you wouldn't feel that you have the right to say that about anyone else's child. So why would you feel that you have the right to say that about our children? And if there's one message that we get out there to people, it's just like, don't believe everything that you're told, because 1, people don't know, but 2, it's not your family. It's your family and it's our family, and what we choose to do with our children is our right as our family, and it's what we want for them. So it's not for someone else to judge or make a comment about what we think their future's like,
Yes, that's exactly right. It's looking up and looking out rather than, looking backwards.
I really like that. Oh, up and out. That is fantastic, because it's so true, isn't it? I love the one about the rear vision mirror and the windscreen. It's looking out is so much broader and wider. The rear vision mirror is tiny, and it's always making you look backwards instead of looking forwards.
We were the same when Rosie was born. We were told that she would never leave home and that she'll always have to be cared for. And I don't know. I just remember thinking at the time, she is going to be the best Downs ever. But in saying that, it's a bit funny because I'm not a go-getter myself. So, but she has been. She's the go-getter. So she's sort of made that happen for herself, which is cool.
I can't see her being any other way, Sally, to be honest. I can't see her being any other way. Oh, no. Well, look, thank you so much for chatting with me. It's so lovely to have these conversations. And the one thing I say to any new parents who get involved in our community, we are so blessed to be surrounded by the people that we are. And Rosie is very special to us. We just think she's the most beautiful young woman. So thank you for sharing her with us, and we hope she stays with GingerCloud and the MRP for a very, very long time. She's a really beautiful young woman.
Definitely be part of it for a very long time. And thank you for setting up GingerCloud, because without GingerCloud, she wouldn't have had a formal partner. She was something.
That's right.
I really worried all the way through school that at year 12 she would need a formal partner. And her being vulnerable is something that it worries me the whole time, that she is vulnerable.
Mm.
She had the best formal partner who was a mentor at MRP, and he was the most beautiful gentleman all night. He just made her feel like a princess. It was just brilliant. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. It's so lovely, and so lovely to speak with you, and no doubt we'll be seeing you soon. So I'll be up in Toowoomba soon, so yeah, look forward to catching up.
All right, brilliant. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Sally. Lovely to chat.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.